All around the internet, you tend to see a lot of things like comment sections. On YouTube channels, we got comment sections. On streams, it's not comment sections, but chat. But on any website where there's a comment section for like a news article or even just going to Reddit or something, you have a certain kind of person who seems to enjoy being the worst kind of person. And just looking at my own comments, I mostly have very good comments. But there are some people who seem to forget how to communicate with other people. The internet, ever since the internet became popular, people seem to feel that there's a certain amount of anonymity. And with that anonymity, they feel that they can do anything they want. Let me tell you something. It's not really as anonymous as you think it is. It really isn't. Because you see, people seem to be acting as if they can say anything they want and not have any repercussions. Well, if you're in my comments section and you're being an idiot, well, you tend to get muted and hidden from my channel. So your comments will never show up again. And most people are likely to have just a single YouTube account, especially if it's people who just watch. They usually don't start up another one. And they tend to be connected, like if they're probably all connected by with the same Google account, right? But if you're in, say, my Discord, and you decide that you're going to be an idiot in there, well, you need to have a phone number, a valid phone number linked to your Discord account to get into my Discord server. And if you're banned, you're going to need another phone number to get in, aren't you? But I just feel that the internet has ruined civility. People just seem to act like idiots all the time. And there are some cases like with something recent that I watched, and that's partially what prompted this video. And it has to do with a Twitch streamer who was playing a game. I can't even remember the name of the game. But it's like a game where you're going around as a monster killing people. And if you know the name of it, it's DBD or something. So if you have heard about this, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Two streamers, both partners on Twitch, were defeated. They lost to this one small streamer. And this small streamer was being polite and civil and saying things like, good game, you know. Now, these other two streamers, I believe that they were both VTubers. And they went in and they started saying, oh, he's just some white, he's like a privileged white guy. Whoops. For the record, he's from Finland. And I did go into his stream earlier today, and he was streaming, and he seemed like a really nice, polite, friendly guy. And he went from, I think, 700 followers to 3,200 when that video went up about him, or about, not really about him, but about the two other streamers who were being absolute jerks to him. And they brought in one of them brought her community in and just mocking him and just behaving like children. I almost feel like people who act like that in comments or in stream chats or things like that seem to forget what age they are. and they act like children. I just don't get that behavior. It's ridiculous, you know? But the thing is, this whole thing backfired on them. One of the offending streamers was banned for 7 days on Twitch. And on Twitter, she was pretty much trying to fight this. She wasn't giving any apologies. She was trying to make excuses and say, no, it's not my fault. I'm the victim here. The other person wants the other person who was a part of the bullying, when the video went up about them, she quite immediately put up an apology on Twitter and was saying things like, I'm a French speaker, not a native English speaker. Although she seemed to have a very American accent, which is interesting. And she said that what she said is not considered an insult in her language. That's a tree. I'm just thinking, is there a village? No. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted by features around here. But yeah, she put up an apology, and people are suspicious of that for whatever reason they want to believe. But it's that kind of thing. People are acting like, I don't know. They're acting like they're forgetting how to speak to people face to face. Yes, there are people who have that mentality that they wanna fight. They wanna confront others in person, which has always happened throughout history. But people who would normally not do that kind of confrontation, most likely because they would probably get their butts kicked if they tried to in person. But they seem to be emboldened by the anonymity of the internet. They think that they can act like an internet tough guy and intimidate others with their follower number. I mean, the same thing happens with so-called influencers who are only famous on Instagram or only famous on whatever. Can you imagine that? A Twitter influencer who's going around saying, I'm famous on Twitter. No, you're not. You have a lot of followers, but you're in reality, you're not famous. So these people seem to think that with their large number of followers, they have influence over others, and going to businesses and saying, with their 3,000 Instagram followers, and saying, I have 3,000 followers on Instagram. If you give me this meal for free, I can advertise you for free. And of course, the restaurant says, I have 20,000 followers on Instagram. Do you think your 3,000 is more important than my 20,000? I don't think so. Things like that. It's quite funny what some of these influencers and... I'm not saying that all influencers are bad. No. There are a lot that do a lot of good. There's some that use their so-called fame, if you want to call it fame. They use that to do good. I mean, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's on YouTube and I think TikTok, and he does some really good things for others. He's helped homeless people. He's helped, there's this one elderly person that he's he's taken to, I think is it a baseball game or something? But yeah, it's fun watching those videos because he's genuinely helping people. But the ones that are toxic, the ones that are acting like they're better than others, they're not. Absolutely not. And those people really do need a reality check. And like, for example, if there's a YouTuber that has, say, 100,000 subscribers and they think that they're famous, outside of YouTube, no one knows who they are. They are not. They're not being shown to everyone. They're being shown to whoever follows them. Famous people are people who are known all around the world. Not necessarily all around the world, but at least millions of people know who they are. That's what being famous is. If you're just a local celebrity, you're not famous. Just a lot of people near you know who you are. Which reminds me, where I live, there was a local access TV show where a guy in his early 20s was being an absolute jerk on the bus. And it was just really funny. He was acting like he's some big shot, but he's got his own little access TV show where he acts like an idiot. I don't even know how he got the show because he was not exactly the smartest person, if you look at the way he behaved. And I have no idea where he is now. This was years ago. He's probably not even well known anymore. Locally, he was hardly even well known. Just an access TV show. But anyways, what I'd like to remind people, now this is people, specifically people who are watching YouTube videos and Twitch streams, or YouTube streams for that matter. Please act like you are talking to these people in person. You may seem a lot more civilized. Because if you're not going to act in a civilized manner, you're going to be viewed as a very immature person. And I find that people who act in that way, act like bullies, act like internet tough guys, they are very immature. And they're not living in the real world. The internet is not the real world. These kinds of people, they just need to grow up. You know, just grow up. Talk to people how you would like to be treated. I mean, that's cliche, right? But it's true. Just talk to people like you would like to be spoken to. And stop acting like a dumbass. Now, if you come into my comments on my videos and you start acting like an idiot without being at least coherent and having a proper argument, just to come on here and try to provoke me or aggravate me. I'm 47 years old. I don't have time for things like this. Like, I really do not have time to talk to people who act like this. So you'll just end up being muted. And you can keep commenting, but no one's going to see your comments. I'll just say that. Interesting. Oh, look at the dolphin. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I just want to remind people that even online, your actions don't always disappear, because quite often they can be preserved for a very long time and people can read them. And you may look back a few years from now, find your old comments, and realized, boy, was I an idiot. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like videos like this, please consider subscribing to this channel as well as my main channel. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.